I am going to go ahead and read them all. Unsinkable metal. You can just hit pause and go back to where you were at later. Imagine a metal that floats on water. Such a material might lead to unsinkable ships. Scientists from the University of Rochester looked to nature for inspiration and designed a metal that really is unsinkable. What? This is new as of this month. Some spiders and ants can float on water. Their bodies naturally repel water. They can also trap air bubbles with their bodies and use them as buoys to stay afloat. The scientists thought that giving metal a way to trap air might achieve the same outcome. They used lasers to etch tiny patterns into the surface of a kind of metal called aluminum. The microscopic grooves trap air and repel water. Water droplets actually bounce off the surface of the metal, push the metal underwater, and it bobs back up. It even floats with holes punched into it. What? Etching a lot of metal will require faster lasers, so it may be a while before the unsinkable ships take to the seas. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. My question is, what about when it freezes and water expands and contracts inside of these holes? I'm just wondering about that. I'm sure that they've already tested it because that just sounds amazing. And this was just published this month. So that's pretty cool. Gigantic fighting turtles. Oh my stars, look at that. This male turtle shell is much larger than Dr. Sanchez, one of the paleontologists who found the shell of the turtle. What? South America, turtle fossils were found in Venezuela. I'm not gonna lie, I won't be going there anytime soon, or almost ever. I don't foresee that in my future, so I love just learning about it. A team of paleontologists discovered new fossils of an extinct turtle. And yes, you can try to say that Latin word on your own. I'll let you surprise yourself. Anyway, Stupendiminis geographicus. Yeah. Anyway, it was a huge find, literally a huge find. This giant turtle was almost the size of a small car. It weighed 1,145 kilograms, or 2,524 pounds, to just the United States, because everybody else in the world does the metric system. So congratulations, us. And was about 3 meters or 10 feet long. It may be the largest freshwater turtle that has ever lived. Okay, you don't know that. You just found one of them. The massive turtle lived about 5 to 10 million years ago in the swamps and rivers of northern South America. Scientists found the most recent fossils in Venezuela and Colombia. The fossil shells have unusual horns near the front. Scientists think only the males had horns and that they most likely used them for fighting. The turtles not only fought other turtles, they also fought giant crocodiles. How would you know that? Ugh. Can't stand that stuff sometimes. Like, how would you know that? Maybe they were all friends. Maybe everybody all got along. Anyway, they fought giant crocodiles that were 10 meters long, 33 feet. Some of the shells have bite marks and stab wounds. One shell even has a tooth embedded in it. Okay, fine, maybe there's a little bit more evidence, but I'm telling you what, sometimes they just make stuff up, I think. Could have been from something else. Maybe they were just roughhousing. Maybe things got carried away. Maybe they weren't attacking each other. Anyway, by the way, Aiden, we were talking about some of those ships from the wars and stuff. This is so cool if you think about that. Next. Using data to up your game. Jason, you should have your dad use one of those like tracking things for your shots. That'd be kind of cool. I know they do that with the high school. I don't know if they do it with junior high, but that's pretty cool. Using your data to up your game. Athletes train hard to improve their sport. Practice and listening to the coach are key aspects of training. Now technology, such as sensors and apps, can provide an even deeper understanding for how to improve sports. These tools look at patterns in everything from swimmers' strokes to a soccer player's foot position. Here are just a few ways that technology and data can be a game changer. Higher, farther, faster. Training aids for soccer players could help you gain an advantage. Slip a socket around your cleat and it will light up to let you know you've kicked the ball correctly. Proper kicking technique can mean stronger kicks, better aim, and more goals. There is also a smart basketball called a dribble up that tracks your dribbling skills. Oh my gosh, that would be so interesting. It shows your data on a smartphone app and provides targets so you know where to bounce the ball for the best dribble. That seems so crazy. Baseball players can use a variety of devices, including the Rapso hitting unit and the hit tracks. These tools record and analyze the pitcher's pitch and the batter's swing, which movements lead to more strikes. What is the speed of the ball leaving the bat? These are just some of the questions that the sports technology can actually answer. Similar technology can help perfect a tennis player's serve and a hockey player's shot. Wearable technology. Some runners, swimmers, and other athletes wear sensors that track distance and speed. Football players can use sensors in their shoulder pads to determine how well they perform. These sensors can help coaches decide on their best training plan for the athlete. Sensors can warn of possible injuries when athletes are overtired or when their muscles are stressed. Data can show coaches how long it can take an athlete's body to recover from exercise. And having data on opponents' patterns can help teams prepare for winning strategy. Interesting. One goal in sports is to win. That isn't going to happen every time, but athletes can always improve. Technology is giving them new ways to analyze their performance, stay healthy, and generally up their game. It's a win-win. That's kind of cool. I could think of several things from that would be interesting to do. Here we go. Whales dive deep on 2 heartbeats. What? This free-diving whale stayed underwater for more than 16 minutes during the deepest dive. Blue whales are the largest animals known to have ever lived. Not ever. What about dinosaurs? They've lived. Their heart alone weighs as much as 397 pounds, 180 kilograms. Yet their heart rate can slow down dramatically. Scientists use suction cups to attach a heart monitor to a blue whale in Monterey Bay, California. They measured the whale's heart rate for nearly 9 hours. During the deepest dive for food, the whale's heart rate slowed down to just 2 beats per minute. Oh my stars, how do you not pass out? The scientists had expected a decrease to help the whale stay underwater longer while diving, but the super slow rate surprised them. Yeah, 2 beats per minute, that's crazy. As the whale came to the surface to breathe, its heart pumped much faster, up to 37 beats a minute, to replenish the oxygen in its blood. The scientists think this surface heart rate is about as fast as a blue whale's heart can possibly be. The limit might even explain why there are no animals larger than blue whales. The heart could not keep up. That's pretty crazy. 2 beats per minute. You know, do you ever just wonder if other people in other countries are irritated that the United States go by pounds in this standard form of measurement because everybody else uses metric and they have to like change everything just for us? Just wondering. Sorry, that was off topic. Puerto Rico rocked by earthquakes. On January 7th, the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico faced its most damaging earthquake since 1918. Hundreds of smaller earthquakes before and after the big one led scientists to label the event an earthquake swarm. That doesn't even sound like a thing. They predict that frequent quakes may continue for up to 10 years. Note to self, do not buy a house there. The insurance probably insane. The island is at the boundary of two tectonic plates. These huge slabs of Earth's surfaces are scraping past each other very gradually. One of the plates is also slowly sliding underneath the other. This movement of plates causes earthquakes, and Puerto Rico is caught in the middle of the action. The main 6.4 magnitude earthquake destroys hundreds of homes and left many people without water or power. It may take a year to fully restore electricity in some places. Thousands of people had to move to shelters in Puerto Rico. Puerto Ricans are also recovering from a hurricane, Maria, which hit in 2017. Wow. They're not really selling this place, I'm not going to lie. That strong storm took down buildings and caused damaging floods. You can read about it in the January 2018 Science in the News. Yeah, seriously, you could not pay me to live there. Oh, I'm sorry, we have earthquakes. Oh, but don't worry, if it's not an earthquake, it's a hurricane. By the way, we also have lots of just tropical storms. And your house could be blown down or shaken down. But don't worry, it's great here. Probably not. Just FYI. Not moving there. Alright, so this part had me interested because my husband's looking for a car. And this is called the nuts and volts of electric cars. So this part I printed and wanted to read about because mainly I have general curiosity about how they work. Electric vehicles have been around for more than hundreds of years. They have really started to catch on over the last decade. More than 3 million all-electric cars, trucks, and vans are currently on the road worldwide. There are even a few long-haul electric trucks that transport goods from factories and stores. Environmental impact. Most cars have an internal combustion engine that runs on gasoline. Burning gasoline and other fossil fuels produce air pollution, including greenhouse gases, which contribute to the climate change. Electric vehicles don't use fossil fuels. Instead, heavy-duty batteries, which can also be bad for the environment, oops, I added that, power the electric motors. So, EVs don't directly produce greenhouse gases and other emissions. I'm glad that they said this, don't directly, because they do have a negative impact if something were to happen to those batteries. Those are not good for the environment, by the way. Poo power. Okay, this is going to gross me out. Electric vehicles are better for the environment, but they are not perfectly green. Their batteries are often charged using electricity from the power grid. Most of this electricity comes from power plants that burn fossil fuels, but an EV uses 1/3 less energy overall than gasoline-powered vehicles, so it's still a win for the environment. Plus, some of the electricity in the power grid comes from greener sources such as solar and wind, and some may soon come from innovative new sources. Cow poop, great. I could make a joke, but I won't. An electric car company has teamed up with a large dairy farm in energy using methane to make electricity. Also prevents this greenhouse gas from escaping into the atmosphere. Sorry. I'm just thinking. Always improving. One of the problems for electric vehicles is their limited range, how far they can travel before their batteries need another charge. But that's improving. Electric vehicles used to be able to only travel about 110 kilometers, 70 miles. Oh my gosh, that wouldn't get you anywhere out here. You'd be stuck everywhere between charges. Now several models can go more than 320 kilometers, 200 miles, which still isn't very far out here. Another problem is the availability of charging stations, but this chart is changing as well. In the United States, there are about 20,000 more charging stations and 60,000 more charging outlets than there were 10 years ago. Well, that's obvious. Things are going to get, oh my stars. In Sweden, engineers have designed a road that will charge vehicles wirelessly as they drive along. That could be a real jolt for electric vehicle use. I'm sure that won't have any problems. You step out of your car and you get electrocuted. Electric vehicles are also quiet to pedestrians and cyclists. They won't hear them coming. Their silence can be especially dangerous for people who don't see well or hear well. To prevent accidents, some of these vehicles are designed to make a sound while moving at low speeds.